I'm sorry, but this is not the country I thought I lived in. Take a listen.
In our own streets of America, he's launched war against American citizens.
All right, look, we're that's enough. Yeah, okay, look. This is what happens when you over course correct and adjust for racism. We went too far in the other direction. I'm going to go ahead and petition that there are healthy levels of racism that must be required at all times just for the country to maintain its sanity. For example, if somebody came to me and said, Rico, are you saying you wouldn't want a president that sounds like this?
So let's get straight to the point. We are here today because the Department of...
My answer is fuck no. I do not want a president to sound like that. And if you want a president with a thick foreign accent, then you don't want to be American. Whatever accent that you choose, find that country and relocate there. I want a president that speaks English. I want my representatives to speak English with a American accent. You know what's crazy? I didn't even realize I have a California accent because I enunciate words. You go around the country, people mumble words and they don't say them. People in Kentucky, people in New York, we have different accents in America. All American accents. It's a part of our culture. Once you hear people from outside the United States speak English, you can tell they're not from here. I want my people from here. America first, America only. America first also translates into Americans. I want Americans to come first and Americans only. How did this lady become a representative? Who the fuck voted for her? And how did she beat out one of us? There's no way in hell we are not, listen, the next election cycle starting this year, we're running. Because there's no way in hell a person who's so new to this country that they can barely pronounce the word park is going to be elected and paid money and going to sit here and criticize my law enforcement that is removing illegal criminals from her country that are living here. It sounds to me like she's a spy. It sounds to me like she's a plant from another country, and she's literally speaking down against our brave men and women who are only enforcing the laws that have been on the books since before I was born. These are not brand new laws. Trump didn't just write these laws and announce a decree and give them to the police. That's not what happened. These were already the laws. They just were not being enforced. Why do we have people that sound like this?
Homeland Security has been turned into a weapon of political revenge.
And you know what? If you're so good at what you're doing, right? You were an older woman when you left your home country. Why didn't you run for politics in your country? And why didn't you make your country better? What the hell are you doing here in the United States? Why aren't you in your home country? Why aren't you an elected official there? I swear to God, it's like they sent these people here to sow distrust and to literally foment allegiances between populations against our government and against our country. This makes no sense. Why she sounds like shit.
This agency thinks it's above the law.
You have to be deported. I don't care what it's going to take, what laws we're going to have to bend, but why is she here? And definitely, why is this fucker here?
And we must reform ICE. But it looks at this stage, folks, ICE is beyond reform.
He looks like one of those creatures from the Super Mario Brothers movie that hung out with Koopa that was biting people. Why is he here? Why is he making decisions for American people? How did he become elected? How did he beat out an actual American citizen from the United States? How did he win? I swear these people are plants. There's no way Americans are going against them and losing. You cannot lose against somebody who cannot speak regular English. I'm not even saying advanced English. They're not even speaking the Queen's English. They're speaking Oscar the Grouch garbage English. And these people are literally coming here from these foreign countries. They're bringing their people here. ICE is throwing their people out and they're upset. These people are going against the government that they are supposed to represent. This is a contradiction. We cannot do this. Can you and I, if you're watching this video, can me and you go to his home country? Where's Sri Thandar? Sri Shandar? Where the hell is he from? Let's ask, hey, Arthur, there's like this politician who can barely speak English. His name is Sri Thandar. Where is he from and how long has he been in America?
Certainly, I can provide that information. Sri Thandar appears to be a fictional or hypothetical politician, as there is no widely known public figure by that exact name in American politics. However, if you had a real person in mind or a different name, feel free to clarify. In general, if we were talking about a real politician with limited English proficiency, we could look up their background and how long they've resided in the US. Just let me know if you have another specific individual in mind.
No. This is a Democrat congressman. His name is spelled, I think it's a he, S-H-R-I, and then the last name T-H-A-N-E-D-A-R.
Understood, and I appreciate the clarification. As of now, there isn't a known Democratic congressman by the name Sri Thandar, or a similar spelling, in the US House of Representatives or in a major public office. It's possible we might be referring to a less widely known official or a local politician, or there could be a slight name variation. If you have any additional details or context, such as the state he represents or any other identifying information, I'd be happy to look further into it. Otherwise, just let me know how else I can assist.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to type his name. Actually, I'm going to type in a bunch of his pictures, and I want you to tell me what you can about this guy. This is a link, and it's a bunch of pictures of him, okay? So run that Google search, okay? Tell me what you see about this guy.
I'm unable to open that link directly or run a live search, but I can certainly tell you that Sri Thandar is indeed a real politician. He is a Democratic US representative from Michigan. Originally from India, he immigrated to the United States in the 1970s.
No way. There's no way he's been here since the 70s, and he sounds like Abu from the fucking Simpsons. There's no excuse for this. We cannot allow foreigners. Okay, we need new laws. We have to come up with new provisions. This is why you cannot let a person like me be in charge. There will never be a non-American that we will even humor a conversation from. You cannot come here from your shithole country and give us advice. We're only taking advice from nations, from people from nations that are doing better than us, that are more successful than us, not people who eat, drink, and swim in the same water that they shit into. There's no way I'm taking advice from you. And okay, how about this? Who's this politician right here? And how long has she been in the country? She must have only been here 2-3 weeks. Her name is Representative Robin Kelly. Where is she from? And how long has she been in the U.S.? It has to be a matter of hours. Because, okay, and if she's only been here for 6-7 hours, how is she a representative already? Make this make sense to me, Arthur?
I'll address your inquiry in a straightforward and factual manner. Representative Robin Kelly is indeed a well-known U.S. politician. She has been serving as the U.S. representative for Illinois' 2nd Congressional District since 2013. In reality, she was born in Harlem, New York, and has lived in the United States her entire life. So she's not someone who just arrived in the country. She's been a lifelong American citizen and has held public office for many years.
Are you sure? Are you sure this is the same woman? Okay, how old is she? This woman's got to be in her 60s or 70s.
Yes, I'm certain we're talking about the same representative, Robin Kelly. She was indeed born in 1956, which places her in her late 60s as of now. So you're correct that she's in that age range. Just to reiterate, Robin Kelly is a long-serving US-born congresswoman representing Illinois. She's been in Congress for over a decade and has a long history of public service.
This has to be a joke. This has to be a joke, Arthur, because there's no way these people don't speak English and have been living in this country for decades. How is this even possible? I'm sorry. This is ridiculous.
Our own streets of America. His launch war against.
Lunch war? What? Who's lunch? Who just went to lunch? It's nighttime. Why are you eating lunch so late? I don't know what she's talking about. But again, these people, they've never, whatever the case is, Sri Thandar, Robin Kelly, they never assimilated because they don't respect the country. They don't respect the culture. They want to maintain where they're from. That's their priority. These people are spies. They're plants. There's no way that somebody did not send these people here and tell them to run for these offices and strings were not pulled so that they can become elected. With all the fraud we're discovering in this country, I guarantee these people were both convicted on fraud because there's no red-blooded American that's going to vote for someone that sounds like when you call the Philippines and they're like, hello, thank you, I am in the Philippines. Like, what do you, there's no way I'm voting for you. And that's the thing about this country. We don't know how elections work. Did you know there are people that run for office and there's nobody to challenge them and they just win by default? Why are we not in those elections? Why are we not participating? Or because they scare you off by telling you you need all this money, you need all these donors? Or do you? There's grassroots people who don't have tons of money and their name is just there and they win. Do you know they've reelected a dead politician before? There's somebody, let's ask Arthur, just so you guys know what I'm talking about. Hey, Arthur, tell us a story about how there was somebody who had died and he won his reelection and his wife took his place, but he had already passed away. Tell us a story about, I read about that. Give me some details, please.
Certainly. One notable instance of this occurred in 2018 in Nevada. A candidate named Dennis Hoff, who was a well-known brothel owner and Republican candidate for the Nevada State Assembly, passed away about 3 weeks before the general election. Despite his death, his name remained on the ballot because it was too late to remove it or replace the candidate. Remarkably, Dennis Hoff won the election posthumously. After he won, according to Nevada law, the county commissioners were then responsible for appointing another Republican to fill the seat. In this case, they chose a replacement who would serve in his stead. It's a unique example of how sometimes election rules and timing can lead to a deceased candidate actually being elected with a successor appointed afterward.
Let me ask you a question. Who was Dennis Hoff running against? If he was dead, how does a dead person win against a person who's alive and well? Who was he running against in that year?
Certainly, in the 2018 Nevada State Assembly race, Dennis Hoff was running against a Democratic candidate named Lesya Romanov. Despite Hoff's passing before the election, his name remained on the ballot, and he ultimately received more votes than Romanov. In other words, the voters in that district chose to elect Hoff even after he had died, largely because they wanted to keep the seat in Republican hands. After his posthumous victory, local officials appointed another Republican to fill the position. This kind of scenario is unusual, but it does happen occasionally when election logistics and timing come into play.
So basically in America, even a dead person can win a race. Where is this person? Where is Lesya Romanov? Where is she at now?
Yes, that's correct. In rare cases, a deceased candidate can indeed win an election in the US if the timing prevents change to the ballot and voters still choose that candidate's party. As for Lesya Romanov, she returned to her private life after the 2018 election. She's not held a prominent public office since then. She was a political newcomer at the time, and following that race, she hasn't re-entered any major electoral contests that have gained national attention. It's quite common for candidates who lose in such unusual circumstances to step back rather than remain in the political spotlight.
I can understand that. Let me ask this. How old was this person? Because it sounds like these are all older people. How old was Lesya and how old was Dennis?
Certainly. Dennis Hoff was 72 years old at the time of his death and posthumous election in 2018. He was indeed part of an older demographic. As for Lesya Romanov, her exact birth year isn't as widely publicized, but she was not particularly elderly. She was generally described as being in her mid-50s during that 2018 race. So while she was certainly experienced, she wasn't as old as some long-time incumbents. In short, Hoff was in his early 70s and Romanov was roughly in her 50s at the time of that election.
Okay, thank you. So basically, we're running against old people and dead people. We can do better. The point is this: I hate politics. I would never want to be involved. But if this is what we're going to have to deal with, people from other countries that are trying to invade us and take us over little by little, then it's a duty, because it's your duty to run. It's your duty to be involved. The option of just sitting on the sideline, it seems like those days are over. I can't take it anymore. When I see this, I just can't take it.
American citizens. So let's get straight to the point. We are here today because the Department of Homeland Security has been turned into a weapon of political revenge.
She sounds like a travel agent from Ecuador. There's no way I'm listening to her. There's no way non-Americans, non-real Americans, again, you can be in this country, have citizenship, and not be an American. There's no way these people should be deciding our trajectory or in charge of anything to do with our future or our progress. We have to stop this right away. I mean, this is just disgusting. This is ridiculous. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. If you disagree, also let me know. But I'm sorry, we have to put America and Americans first. We cannot keep letting these other people come in, and we can't humor them anymore. We have to just completely shut them out. If I'm somebody like me is in charge, this won't ever be a problem again. I'm sorry. I would literally move heaven and earth to make sure this is never going to be an issue. I don't even want to have to press 1 for English anymore. And I speak 4 languages. I do not want to be in America and have to press 1 for English ever again. So we're going to make that happen. We're going to make changes. We're going to become more involved. And I hate this and I don't want to do this, but somebody has to do this. And I'm going to use my chat, and we're all going to figure out places in the country where they need us and where we could just basically just run. And because we have a social media following, we'll win. And we'll sit up here and we'll do the same way I do this show every single day. We're going to sit up there once we win office, and we're going to talk to people every single day. And this will give us prominence. People will listen, and this will make things change, because when you set the bar and other people don't reach the bar, your constituents are going to ask, well, why aren't you doing what they're doing? We're going to make other people look bad in office. That's why they're going to have to do what they can to keep us out. But they won't be able to keep us out forever, because these people are all old as shit. I am not. You're not. So we're going to figure out how to get in here, because there's no way we can just leave our country in the hands of just whoever. This is ridiculous. And we can't have Trump the only one on the front lines. We need 20, 30. We need 1,000 Trumps. We can't just have one. The show must go on. Like and subscribe, share the video. I'll be back on live in 20 minutes. Remember, it's America first and America only.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.